What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about and comparing my Triumph Street Triple RS against my previous motorcycle. I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to have a 2020 BMW F900R. The BMW F900R is a fantastic motorcycle. I think it's perfect for a lot of people, but there are other people that the Street Triple RS is better for. And this is what I want to talk to you about in this video. I think the first thing that we're going to be starting out with are the specs, and then we're going to build up on the specs and talk about everything in and out between both motorcycles while we're on the road. So as far as the BMW F900R is concerned, that motorcycle is kind of like a smartphone in comparison to the Street Triple RS. And what separates it mostly, besides the dashboard being a large dashboard that supersedes the Street Triple RS, is that motorcycle is all IMU based versus the Triumph Street Triple RS, which is pretty much rudimentary and everything works old-fashioned. Aside from that, just like the Street Triple RS, you get multiple modes. You have rain, you have road, you have dynamic, and you have dynamic pro. Besides that, the F900R has an app for your phone, unlike the Street Triple RS. The Street Triple RS, you have to purchase a device that goes somewhere in the motorcycle. I don't know exactly where. Then it connects to your smartphone and tells you turn-by-turn directions and whatnot. And that's something that I really enjoyed on that motorcycle. Aside from that, the engine of the F900R is an 895cc power plant. It's a two-cylinder motorcycle which has 99 horsepower and 67 foot-pounds of torque. Other than that, top speed on the motorcycle is 134 miles an hour. Suspension for the F900R, the front is not adjustable, but the rear is. And if you get the premium package, the rear shock on the F900R is dynamically adjusted as you ride, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the Street Triple RS, this motorcycle has a 765cc power plant, and it produces somewhere north of 121 horsepower with about 49 foot-pounds of torque. As I mentioned before, the computer of this motorcycle is pretty much rudimentary, so everything is old-fashioned, unlike the F900R. But what is an upgrade on this motorcycle that motorcycle doesn't have is fully adjustable show-up big piston forks in the front and an Olin suspension in the rear. Aside from that, this motorcycle has a 3-cylinder engine, and it shares the same exact architecture and engine characteristics as the Moto 2 engines that are in MotoGP right now. Last but not least, both motorcycles have a quick up and down shifter, with the quick up and down shifter with auto blip being standard on the Street Triple RS, and on the F900R it's an option when you get the premium package. Alright, I think that pretty much takes care of all the specs. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take this show on the road and talk about both motorcycles and see which one is right for you. When it comes to the F900R and the Street Triple RS, I consider both of them to be a gentleman's hooligan's bike. Now, if you wanted to be a complete hooligan, then you would get something like an MT-09 or a KTM 890 Duke or something like that. But now that I've said that, I will also say that the F900R is for an even better gentleman than the Street Triple RS is. Which brings me into a great segue to talk about the F900R and tell you about its characteristics. As I mentioned before, both motorcycles are absolutely fantastic, though some people will lean more towards the F900R and others will lean more towards the Street Triple RS. The F900R is a perfect street fighter motorcycle that is both sporty but can also be a great tourer. I've used that motorcycle on a nice little touring vacation, and I think I drove it about 10 hours straight. I forgot exactly where I went, but I'll link it to this video as well. But it's a fantastic motorcycle. When it comes to comfort, the F900R is definitely a more comfortable motorcycle. It's an all-around better bike when it comes to touring. If you get the dynamic package and the select package on the F900R, it comes with the center stand, which makes maintaining your motorcycle a little bit easier. It will also come with pannier holders. Hopefully I said that correctly. Panniers, paniards, whatever they are that hold your bags on the back. You also get a function in the ECU called Dynamic Pro. But anyways, I've reviewed all that stuff in previous videos, so make sure to go check out the playlist for all the F900R content. Now, the major differences between the F900R and the Street Triple RS are probably down to the engine characteristics and the weight of the motorcycle. The F900R is probably going to be a bit meatier than the Street Triple RS. The Street Triple RS full wet weight is going to be about 412 pounds, I believe. The last time I weighed it, that's how much it weighed. Full wet weight, absolutely stock, no changes whatsoever. But the F900R full weight on that is 476 pounds. So it's going to be a meatier motorcycle, and with the lesser horsepower, that means you're going to have less power. But that aside, 100 horsepower on that motorcycle is a little bit more than what you would consider 100 horsepower on the Street Triple RS. With the F900R, you're getting a lot of your power from the torque, and with the Street Triple RS, you're getting more of your power with the horsepower. Hopefully that makes sense. Overall, the F900R is going to be a more upright motorcycle. The parts on the F900R, they are a bit plastic, because the tank, if you touch it at the top of it, it's not aluminum or whatever material the Street Triple RS is, so it is going to feel plasticky. But here's the kicker though, if modern technology, and I'm talking about computer-based technology, is something that you're after, and it's something that turns you on about a motorcycle aside from its looks, then I would say that the F900R is probably going to be the more advanced motorcycle. And I'll tell you why, for good reason. First of all, you get that gigantic, big, beautiful screen. That screen is probably the best in the business. There's nothing else that's better in the business than the F900R or the BMW 5 or 6 inch displays. I forgot exactly how big they are, but yes, they are the absolute best in the business. Enough fooling around. As I mentioned, this motorcycle is more of a hooligan motorcycle than the F900R, but don't be put off by that. You can have just as much fun on the F900R as you can on the Street Triple. So back to what I was talking about before, as far as the electronics are concerned, that TFT dash is just absolutely gorgeous. Turn-by-turn directions included. You can hook up your phone. It'll display who's playing on your Spotify or on your Pandora. It's just a quality system. When you're riding that motorcycle, it's a very, very quality system, and I think BMW has done a fantastic job, and up to this point there hasn't been any other manufacturer that's produced a similar system for any other motorcycle. But as far as the Street Triple RS is concerned, the Street Triple RS has a 121 horsepower power plant with about 49 foot-pounds of torque. The front wheel on the Street Triple RS is pretty lively. If you want to give this thing power wheelies, it'll do power wheelies all day long. But on the F900R, you're not going to get that as much because you have all the electronics, like the IMU system that's built in. The Street Triple RS is going to come with a TFT as well, just like the F900R. But the TFT display on this motorcycle is not going to be as nice looking. And to be honest with you, it's very difficult to read. So if you have poor vision like I do, the first time you get this motorcycle, you're going to be squinting a lot. And you'll find it pretty frustrating to find things inside the dash. Where the F900R shines with its TFT display, its IMU system, its big muscular looks, and where the Street Triple RS shines is probably with its Moto 2 engine, because this triple engine is an absolute peach. I've ridden the previous generation MT-09, the MV Agusta F3, and I've ridden the naked version of it, so I have an idea of the different triple engines that are out there. And I gotta say, the best triple engine by far, in my humble opinion, is gotta be the Triumph triple engine. And it's no wonder that MotoGP has chosen it for the Moto 2 platform. Yes, my dudes, this very motorcycle's engine is on a MotoGP motorcycle. Just to give you guys some context on how great this engine is. But unfortunately, Triumph has played their marketing game very, very well, because they detuned the Street Triple R to 116 horsepower. They made this one 121 horsepower. And then they took the Daytona 765 Moto 2 and they made that 128 horsepower. So yeah, Triumph knows how to play the game really well, just to make you spend some extra money. But you could take this very engine and you can tune it with a power commander, and you'll get about 135 to 37 horsepower to the wheel if you wanted to. I particularly love middleweight motorcycles, and there's no reason why I want to fiddle with it and make it into a leader bike performing motorcycle. If that was the case, I would just get a leader bike, right? Exactly. There are some downsides to this motorcycle, just like there are some downsides to the F900R. So let's talk about that now that we got all the good stuff out of the way. The F900R, the only problems that I had with the motorcycle was the weight. I like a motorcycle that is nice and sporty and light and very lean and agile. That motorcycle is very agile and very surprising how well it handles, because I took that motorcycle on the track. It handled absolutely great, although it did feel a bit heavy. And I also took it drag racing that same day. Pretty much no motorcycle took me on the drag strip. As far as the downsides are concerned, the quick shifter on the motorcycle is a bit clunky. That was another thing that I didn't like about it. Between first and third gear, whenever you're upshifting and downshifting, it's very rough and very clunky, and I think it has to do with the same problem that the KTM 890 Duke had, because that also has a very clunky quick shifter. And I think it all boils down to being a two-cylinder engine, which produces a lot of low-end torque. Being that this motorcycle has a triple engine, you don't get that at all. Now, as far as downsides for the Street Triple RS is concerned, I would probably say that it's probably in the electronics department, because the people that buy this motorcycle are looking to do frequent track days with it, or they're looking to ride it in a more performance-oriented fashion. Street Triple RS's electronics, as I mentioned previously, it's pretty rudimentary, so the traction control and the ABS are always interfering whenever you're riding this thing on the track. At least it did with me. There were times where I felt very, very frustrated with it. Other than that, the F900R comes with heated grips and cruise control as standard, but the Street Triple RS only comes with heated grips, but you have to buy them, and the cruise control doesn't exist. I wish this motorcycle had cruise control and heated grips, and I would deem it probably the best naked motorcycle out there. So hopefully, if Triumph is watching this video, their next version, or whenever they make their next update, can include those two features. I mean, come on, every motorcycle these days has it anyways. If you're a premium manufacturer like Triumph is, then at least give us some premium features, right? Exactly. So now, what kind of individual would buy an F900R versus the Street Triple RS? The type of person that I can see buying an F900R is probably a person who's a bit more mature, who wants a naked motorcycle, something that's chiseled looking, something that looks absolutely awesome. But power is not their number one necessity. They're not really looking for all that extreme power, but they're also looking to tour with the motorcycle, but they don't necessarily want a dad bike like an adventure motorcycle. I think the F900R is a perfect motorcycle for someone who wants to take it cross-country, someone who wants to tour with the motorcycle, someone who wants to take it long distances, but at the same time they want to be a hooligan once in a while and thrash it around, maybe take it to the track, and do all the things that I did with it. As far as the Street Triple RS is concerned, I think the Street Triple RS is probably for like a younger crowd. The Street Triple RS is a perfect motorcycle for the track. It's got every single component that you could imagine. Big Brembo M50 calipers in the front, big Showa big piston forks that are fully adjustable rear shock in the back. I mean, it's pretty much dripping with all the good stuff, like the Brembo master cylinder, and I can go on and on. So I'm not necessarily saying that this motorcycle is a better motorcycle than the F900R, but simply pointing out the facts that this motorcycle is made more for performance. Meanwhile, the F900R is made more for someone who wants performance, but not as much as they need, but they require more of a better supple ride, more accoutrements, if you want to call them that, like a better screen, an IMU based system. It gives them better technology, etc. Yes, this bike sounds freaking dope. Oh man, this is pretty. I think we're gonna pull over here and finish off this episode. Check this out. Oh man. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my comparison of the F900R with my Street Triple RS. For you guys back at home who are considering the F900R versus the Street Triple RS, they're both fantastic bikes, but you got some homework to do now. And with the information that I provided you in this video, and hopefully with the homework that you do, I hope that you can find out which motorcycle is best for you. And if you have any questions, post them down in the comments below. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out in the algorithms, and I would appreciate your support. But anyways, my dudes, thanks for watching another episode, and I will catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.